Yo, what is up, guys? It is Great Sage, and I am here for What If Asta Was Madara's Reincarnation. Now, I'm sorry I have not posted. I was actually enjoying my time, taking a break, because I have family, of course, and, family always comes first, guys. Remember that. But another thing, pretty much, we're just going to be continuing where we left off, which was the, invasion arc. And pretty much, if you guys want a whole rundown last part, Black Bulls went into the dungeon. Asta showed up, the Diamond Mages, proving the Golden Dawn wrong, or more especially Klaus, who goes ahead and starts insulting the Black Bulls for some random reason. After that, they were supposed to report to the Wizard King, which they do so, and they were invited to go eat with them by the Wizard King himself. And after that very moment, a bit of a ruckus happens between, Asta and the noble part, including the vice captain of the Golden Dawn. And that brings us to now, where Asta currently just jumped out of the window due to the fact that he said something. And that's when a soldier entered and declared that the kingdom is being attacked. So, with all that, with the recap now being said, let's get started.
She gripping that dick like she was a lost star. She party at night like she was a rock star. She singing my song like Bella-dee-da. She calling me daddy, but not her father. Little Billy bit thirsty like big as some water. Could give you the world with the wave of a wand. We Philly, our bitch Cosmo Wanda.
Alright, guys, let's get started with this what if. So now we start off with the capital being under attack. The Magic Knight captains are now in shock that, the kingdom is under attack. And this brings both captains, Fuegoleon and Nozel, to a conclusion. Did that guy could already tell the attack was happening before we did? Us? Well, me? A captain? They both thought. Considering the fact that even before the man even arrived, Asta vanished before they even explained to them what happened. So due to that, the captains instantly, try to regain their composure and begins to order everyone around like a good captain should do, telling them about their plan and their way they're going to attack, and for all of them to do what they're going to do. Leorio, however, did not stick around, considering that he wants to follow Asta's example, and jumped out of the window to pursue him, claiming that he is his rival now, which, for some reason, he just scoffed at the idea of having someone else as a rival. However, it makes things more fun. And besides, Asta will always be the #1 rival. And besides, come on. It's gonna take pretty hard to catch up to his brother. I mean, shoot, not even he is on that level yet. He can admit that, but still, let's continue on. Now, at a different part of the village, we see Asta now plowing through the undead like they were nothing, swinging his goon by sword, and currently right now saving as much civilians as he can. As suddenly a large wall would appear, and Asta would then say, "Yo, Libe, charge up some anti-magic in the sword now." At this, Libe will do as Asta wish, as you actually see a little chibi version of him appear on Asta's shoulder. "Alright, but don't get too cocky now. I don't follow orders from you." "Yeah, whatever," said Asta, considering the fact that Libe, who also actually begins to consider him as not just a partner but a brother, considering the fact that he sort of is, Libe reminds him of how he used to be, or more or less how he was, supposed to be like before, the soul of Madara reawakened. And this sort of caused him to sort of look at Libe as a brother. And as for Madara, he considered Libe at first like, something like the Nine Tails supposed to be used as a weapon. However, instead, he just, due to Asta's personality and everything, yeah, that thing sort of changed. But still, same things ever. I mean, shoot, you see how he treats so Libe is not different. Yeah, whatever. Asta will go ahead and swing the sword as a large wave of anti-magic would then, go around through the wave of undead, making them all fall unconscious, because the magic that was on them seemed to have disappeared. At this, Asta would go ahead and hear screaming, turning around, only to see a woman about to be consumed by one of them, until suddenly an arrow of wind strikes the undead, pushing away from the woman. "Man, I was gonna do something about it. You got lucky, Asta would say, looking up at the sky, seeing that his other brother is there. Well, it looks like I made it just in time, Asta. You go on ahead. I could already tell who's the main villain in all of this." With that, Asta would nod and then vanish at blinding speed, once again shocking Yuno. Man, he has too many tricks up his sleeve. Gotta catch up to him. Now, due to this, other Magic Knights will begin to arrive and begin to help out around the Clover Kingdom, while Asta will be running around going to the culprit of who is doing this. Now we see on the other side of the kingdom, we see a man about to grab a girl, a little girl who was right now crying for her mother and father. However, there was no response. You and this kingdom are gonna burn to the ground, this person would say. However, he would then be stopped, considering the fact that the little girl seemed to vanish right before him as soon as he was about to grab her. What? Would the person say? Man, I knew about people like you, but this is just disgusting, said a voice. Due to this, the man or the villain himself would go ahead and turn to where that voice came from, only to see a man with long gray hair and his left eye is being covered by, his right eye is being covered by his hair, while his left eye is visible, showing his green eye. Are you okay? asked Asta to the little girl, which she instantly nods, thanking him for saving her, which he just chuckles, telling her that's okay. He then goes back to his attention back onto, the guy, which I don't know his name. Sorry. It's the guy who has the, ability to sort of control the dead and only has that one page in the grimoire. You guys should pretty much know him. He was part of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, which we thought he was important, but really he was really not, whatever. So, yeah, it'll be that guy who was right now looking at Asta. Oh yeah? What the heck are you? However, he would then stop in his tracks and he looks at Asta. Ha! You have no magic, said the man, laughing at Asta, who has no magic, thinking that he's, forgetting that he just saved the kid in a blink of an eye. Asta would just be looking at him with a blank stare, acting as if this man is an idiot. Alright, so what? I have no magic, your point being? At this, the man would just stop laughing and turn to him with a still hilarious expression. That means you can't do anything. Shit, you only saved that girl because you got lucky. Man, I can beat you easily, said the man with complete confidence in his voice. At this, Asta would just smirk. Oh, really? Well, I got something to say to you. As that, Asta would then vanish, shocking the man as he goes ahead and yells, "Oh, yeah, what?" he said. Obviously a feeling coming over him, thinking that something was about to happen. Wake up to reality, said the voice behind him, whispering into his ear. At this, his eyes would then widen, turning around only to get punched in the face at a very fast, fast speed, sending him flying across the area, slamming into multiple houses, creating craters. That is what Leorio, who was around the area looking for Asta, would find his so-called rival doing. He punched him away like it was nothing. But he has no magic. Just what the heck? Asta would look at the damage he has done, acting as if, oh, it was nothing. I do this every Tuesday. As he goes ahead and puts the girl down. Next time you should be careful. Hey, you over there, said Asta, pointing at looking at Leorio, who instantly actually tightens up a little bit, considering the fact that Asta had this pressure coming off of him. Not the one that he showed before, but just that there's an aura coming off him. That one that says that he just demands respect. I want you to go ahead and take the kid and protect her. Make sure that others are safe. And another thing, if you can, lead her to her mother and father while also keeping others safe. If you could do that, then that will be all. However, as soon as he was about to turn away, another set of footsteps came. Asta would turn around only to see Noel and eventually Fuegoleon arrive at the scene, seeing that they all appeared in front of Asta. Oh, I guess I didn't need to be here, said Fuegoleon, as he goes ahead and looks at the crater, and at the very end of it, he can see the man who was actually known as the main suspect of this, considering the fact that he could already tell that the magic that was resonating in the other ones were coming from him. Also, due to him being knocked out, all the others, undead began to fall. Yeah, but To be fair, that idiot over there still thinks I'm a fool. At this, Fuegoleon wouldn't, question what he meant until Asta goes ahead and vanishes, appearing right in front of a pile of dead bodies, blitzing through hand signs. Fire style, fireball jutsu, said Asta. As suddenly a ginormous fireball would then erupt, burning the undead, including someone else who was hiding in it. Ah! Screaming was being heard from inside the fire. This screaming will be coming from someone until Asta wouldn't look inside the fire, only to see some sort of portal open. He goes ahead and senses the portal going ahead and activating, up on a house, as he goes ahead and sees the individual who is currently wearing an undead mask, currently on fire. Damn it, curse you, boy, said this man. Did you really think I wouldn't sense you? I could hear your breathing. God, you guys know nothing about stealth, said Asta. However, the man did not even listen to him as he goes ahead and puts out the fire. However, Fuegoleon was only looking at Asta with more curiousness. There was no magic involved at all. Just who is this kid? However, he stayed that at the back of his mind. However, Asta was just staring down at the individual as he goes ahead and speaks. So you and this other man are the main culprit behind this attack. Well, I want to know who exactly is your leader, and if you don't tell me, I'll go ahead and make sure you do. At this, Asta goes ahead and adds a little bit of killing intent, which goes ahead and shakes the man to his very core, unable to move. Just what the heck is this guy? However, he went ahead and found a little bit of able to move a little bit. So he goes ahead and opens a few portals. At this, other individuals of the Midnight Sun goes ahead and falls out. Oh great, more insects, said Asta. He goes ahead and looks at all of them while all of them look at Asta until they all burst into laughter. Insects, you're the only one who has no magic here. In fact, you're the worthless one here. The only one that I can see taking us on is that captain over there, but all of us together against him shouldn't be a problem. So what can you do? Said one of the members in the cloaks. And Fuegoleon hated to admit this. He somewhat agreed with them. Even though he saw Asta even though he didn't see, he could tell that Asta's strong. However, to be strong enough to take them all on his own, it just couldn't be possible. Could it? However, in a blink of an eye, Fuegoleon was proven wrong. And suddenly all the heads of the individuals would then roll off, as they all hit the ground with a thud. Blood began to pour out of them. I'm sorry, what nonsense were you guys saying? Asta would ask, obviously getting no response from the now dead individuals. Alright, you're dead. At this, Asta would go ahead and give off a smirk, to which even Fuegoleon was a bit unnerved by this. He acts like it's nothing. Just what the heck? Who the heck is this guy? He remembered Asta from the exams, and to be fair, even though he was able to fly and everything without no magic, he still didn't see anything in him. But now, this power, this ability of his, oh, I think Yami must have seen something that even he couldn't see. Something that all the captains couldn't see in this kid. And what was the power of a true warrior, which Fuegoleon can obviously tell now. So what now? Said Asta, looking at the teleporter, which he was beginning to get, scared. This guy, just what the heck? However, he wouldn't stop until you begin to chuckle. Well, bad day for you. Our meter would like to meet you. At this, the man would snap his fingers, causing a portal to open underneath Asta, causing him to begin to fall. At this, Fuegoleon, the Yorio, and Noel will all be in shock, screaming Asta's name. However, Asta would then turn to them with a serious expression. Don't leave this place. They need you. I'll be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and say hello to the master. Or should I say the leader of this organization, said Asta with a smirk. This smirk was just nothing but full of confidence, which makes Fuegoleon even fear. At one hand, he acts like a soldier. On the other hand, he's way overconfident in his abilities. What the heck is wrong with this kid? He just couldn't understand. However, now is not the time, as he sees Asta getting completely swallowed by the portal, leaving him alone. Now, now with Asta, scene change. Asta was now currently, in this weird secluded area, now looking around until he sees an individual in front of him. Oh, so you're the leader of this organization, said Asta, who's currently right now standing in front of the individual with his arms crossed. Well, show me what you got, said Asta. In a blink of an eye, a light spear was going straight to Asta's arm. However, in an instant, it's deflected. Come on, you can move faster than that, said Asta, still wielding the Goomba sword in his hand. This shocks the leader, who was known as Licht, considering the fact that he couldn't even see the movement of the kid's arm. At this, he goes ahead and sends multiple of them. However, in a blink of an eye, they're all gone. What? Said Licht, completely in shock. Asta would begin to chuckle. Come on, you can do better than that, can't you? Said Asta. He can't lie, he loves a good fight. And the call of battle, the thing of pushing your ability to the limit, the drive to overpower your opponent, he loved the feeling. However, all of this was interrupted by Licht, who instantly sensed magic coming towards him, vanishing, as a time bubble appeared out of nowhere. Dang it. You just had to interfere, didn't you, Julius? Said Asta. At this, Julius, or the Wizard King, would then step out. Huh, very impressive. I guess you sort of found me out. But I'm still shocked to see you here, said Julius, actually really in shock that Asta even came here at all. It wasn't really nothing. However, as soon as he said that, a light spear that was heading directly towards Julius, which he was in shock considering the fact he could barely keep up with it, as he was about to go ahead and make a time prison for it, only for it to be deflected in the blink of an eye. Heck, even faster than that. Listen, Wizard King, or should I say Julius? Doesn't really matter to me. Listen up. I'm not gonna allow you to go ahead and get in the way of my battle. He's the one who brought me here, and I'm gonna finish what he wanted, a battle. So it's either he gets rid of me, or I get rid of him. And that's what I'm planning to do. At this, Asta was gonna go ahead and blitz through hand signs. However, Licht was already smart enough to already know the Wizard King, and plus this guy known as Asta was way out of his league. I mean, shoot. Already, Asta alone was already a problem. He was able to deflect his light spears as if they're nothing. And now Julius here, he already knew that if he stayed here, he would have been killed. So at that, he goes ahead and vanishes in a bright light. Coward. If you call me for battle again, you should know that the consequences will be dire for you, Asta would say, as he could already tell that Licht heard that message. Well then, I guess I should say thank you for saving me, said Asta in a very sarcastic tone, which Julius already picked on. Well, it should actually be me saying that, considering the fact that if it wasn't for you, I may have gotten injured, as he could remember that light spear. However, this in turn made Julius think in the back of his mind. This kid, Asta, wasn't. He was able to go ahead and deflect multiple light spears, which I wasn't able to keep up with. And he was able to go ahead and even protect me. Even though I could see the attack and can see it coming, I was not guaranteed I can go ahead and just deflect it like that. How strong are you? Thought the Wizard King. As he begins to wonder, could Asta go ahead and be on the level of a captain, or heck, could he be farther than that? He couldn't understand. But just one thing could be safe. Asta was definitely on a very, very other level. In fact, he's guaranteed at least on vice captain level. That's something that William, or actually Julius, is 100% sure about. Now back at the Clover Kingdom. We see all the Magic Knights have gathered up, and they're surprised to find Fuegoleon, Noel, and Leorio all there with grim expressions. At this, they all wonder what the heck is going on, considering the fact that the undead began to just, stop moving, and they stopped attacking people. And that's where Fuegoleon goes ahead and explains the situation, and this is where Leorio and Noel will also add their 2 pieces into it, explaining how Asta did this and this, that, practically explaining all the events that happened, including Asta getting taken away. At this, all the Magic Knights that were there, including Yuno, were actually surprised at this, considering the fact that the very same guy who literally busted up in there, the odd one, who was known as a commoner, and the one who went ahead, overpowered a captain just by pressure alone, brought 3 people who were like high-ranking Magic Knights down to their knees and defeated them easily. Which, you know, Solid, his sister, and not Noelle, his other sister, the one that's, you know, practically just terrible, and the vice captain of the Golden Dawn. He brought all of them down as if they were nothing. So the fact that this man just got kidnapped worried them. Just what has the enemy have in store? Well, glad to see that you're all okay, said a voice coming from behind them. At this, all of them would turn around to see the Wizard King already there, and this would all make them, you know, begin to, you know, be happy, considering now that the Wizard King was here, this should just more than guarantee that the matter was already gone. However, this only brings up another question. Where is Asta? Oh, man. You guys are... I can see you guys already took care of all the issues here, said a voice from behind them. At this, all the captains turn around, including Julius, who looks behind them, considering the fact he thought for sure Asta would be right next to him. At that, we see Asta now going ahead and laying on a wall, looking at all of them with a toothpick in his mouth. Asta, said Noelle, who goes ahead and runs over to him first, going ahead and, you know, checking if he has any injuries. After that, Mimosa, Yuno, Leorio, and heck, Fuegolion, and even Klaus went over there, as they already began to bombard Asta with questions, with Fuegolion just there watching him, staring at him. At this, all of them would then stop talking as they see the aura between both Fuegolion and Asta. I'm glad to see that you're okay, said Fuegolion, with a true honest-to-goodness smile. At this, Asta couldn't help but remember his dear old friend, Hashirama. It's actually good to be okay. But I'm glad to see you're doing well as well, Fuegolion. At this, everyone just, Noelle and everyone in that little group just thought that, you know, Asta was crazy to talk to a captain so casually, even calling him by his first name. However, Fuegolion didn't fret, considering the fact that Asta has gained his respect today. He could probably say that alone Asta could have done better than he could have finished this entire thing by himself if he wanted to. And the fact that he just came back here unscathed after getting teleported to who knows where just shows how powerful Asta is. Yes, I could clearly see. Well, again, I must say you have earned a great amount of my respect, Asta. And I have to say, I'm surprised that you came back here unscathed. To which all the Magic Knights who were watching this, including Julius, were all there, you know, just looking at Asta, who just goes ahead and just sighs. Well, I mean, the leader of that group was very annoying, and in fact, he was a coward at best. He didn't even stick around to fight me, even though he dragged me over there. Now this made every Magic Knight widen. What? What are you talking about? Said the vice captain of the Golden Dawn, as the others go ahead and listen to this, even though Zell had his eyes widened. Oh, well, simple. I was practically teleported to the, well, you know, I guess you could say the base of these guys. Well, I don't really know. I was teleported to an area, and that's where I met the leader of the group. He was a mage who could use light magic, and I could clearly tell that he was very powerful. He was able to go ahead and catch the Wizard King nearly off guard. Isn't that right, Julius? At this, all of them widened. They did not know what to think. On one hand, they were upset that Asta went ahead and disrespected the Wizard King like that, and were about to reprehend until Julius speaks up. Yes, Asta. Yes, it's true. I was going ahead and was about to confront the Knight of the Midnight Sun's leader. However, Asta would already beat me to a punch, being teleported over there. He was a light mage user, I can confirm that, and his attacks were very fast. In fact, I nearly get caught off guard until Asta over there saved me. At this, all the captains just widened, and each one of them gave Asta some respect. Able to save the Wizard King from someone was just mad flex. However, this brought up another question. Who is strong enough to catch the Wizard King off guard? And just how powerful is Asta? Well, that's all. I'm tired. I've been through a lot. I've sort of been pissed off since he ran away. And I need to go ahead and blow off some steam. So with that, I'll go train. And without anyone else getting able to speak up or decline his, rude attempt at leaving, Asta vanished in a junction or a body flicker. Apologies, said Noel. No, Asta was not one to go ahead and stick around for these type of things. He was more of a man of action, of course, and she knew that all too well, which sort of also got her own personality. Don't be fret. I have to owe it to him. It's sort of my fault. I interfered with his fight. At this, all the captains just look at them, until finally Quigolian speaks up. Sir, if I might ask, can I ask about this light magic user? And what do you mean that you interrupted his fight? I thought for sure you would have saved him, asked Quigolian, as the other captains also wondered this. Well, he already told you that he saved me, Quigolian. And if you don't know, I've actually saw Asta only for a brief second, and he was able to go head to head with the very captain and the leader of the Midnight Suns. At this, everyone's eyes would just widen. This commoner, this Black Bull, the man that these guys actually saw at the Royal Magic Night exams, went head to head with the leader of the group and saved the Wizard King. That feat alone just shocked them. Julius would go ahead and begin to explain to them about other things that happened, as well as also explaining that there might be a traitor in the kingdom. This causes all the Magic Knights to go on guard until one random Magic Knight goes ahead and speaks out. Wait, could that weird Black Bull be the traitor? At this, all the Magic Knights, including Julius, would look at the stranger, causing him to tense up under the gaze until he goes ahead and gets a backbone and begins to speak up. I mean, think of this, Wizard King. I mean, can you believe that a commoner would automatically be able to go head to head against the leader of the Midnight Sun? And even more, he has no magic at all whatsoever. What if he goes ahead and tries to act like that? What if he's truly going up against all of us? What if all he was doing today was just an act? At this would cause suspicion on the new member of the Magic Knights. However, this when Julius intervenes. Yes, I can tell that some of you guys may be suspicious of Asta. However, I can tell you this. I can guarantee on my own life that Asta is not the traitor. At this, everyone gets shocked. If the Wizard King bets his life on you that you're not the traitor, then you are not the traitor, alright? That is guaranteed fate. Although, yes, I could understand your confusion about his abilities and the fact that you all cannot sense magic from him, I can guarantee that he is not the traitor. I've seen him fight, and heck, I've seen him fight the leader of the Midnight Sun, who was even scared of him. I could already sense the fear of being faced with just Asta alone. And when I appeared, it sort of seemed to double over, and he left. So I could easily tell that Asta is guaranteed to not be one of the traitors. At this would calm down everyone, while the man who was so busy, trying to declare Asta as a traitor was upset. Now, if you guys don't know, he was just some royal who was upset that Asta went ahead and did all these amazing things, even though he could not believe it. Don't worry, he's not really important. Well, with that being said, I do want you guys to check on your members and be careful. At that, all the captains and all the Magic Knights would go ahead and do a salute saying, "Yes, Wizard King." And at this, Julius would go ahead and leave. However, he gives one message. Like I said, I wasn't able to keep up with that light mage. However, Asta was able to go head to head with him as if it was nothing. I think you guys need to start going ahead and start getting more serious. Just a suggestion, said Julius as he goes ahead and walks away. At this, all the Magic Knights begin to fret about this. This newbie, this new guy over here just went ahead and did something that most can never do in their entire lives. So this was just a shock to them. Now, a time skip happens. Now, a couple of days ever since the invasion happened, the Black Bulls actually had gotten a lot of stars due to it, saying that due to Asta and his bravery, and due to him sort of helping him out, finding out the Midnight Sun's leader, what his magic is, and solo practically handling the invasion by himself. Practically, he is now a senior Magic Knight, along with Charmy and Noelle. Well, not Noelle. She's not a senior Magic Knight. She's a mid-class one, but still, she's still got a rank up. As for he is a third. He's I don't really know for Yuno's the same thing as he was in canon, and pretty much after that day, the Black Bulls got a bunch of stars. So yeah. Now with the Black Bulls. Now, as they currently are walking back to the Black Bulls, also just there with a nonchalant face, not even caring at all about whatever happened. To be honest, he really doesn't care. Like, come on now. He could have, it wasn't really that much of a bigger deal. Now, what would have been a bigger deal is if he could go ahead and fight that light magic user. Now, also couldn't lie. When he was fighting him, the man seemed to begin to improve, and it also seemed like he was holding back. And this made Asta begin to think that if they were to actually continue fighting, and at that level, that would have been a true battle to enjoy. One of the first few that he would even enjoy in this world, considering the fact that most people in this world aren't as strong as him. But still, he enjoyed the feeling. The feeling of battle against such a strong foe ignited his battle instincts. However, this is when Noelle began to speak up. Hey, isn't that the Golden Dawn? At this, Asta, Charmy, and Noelle will go ahead and see Yuno's team, who was currently walking at the opposite direction as them, looking like they were about to go home as well. Hello, Yuno, said Asta, with a casual smirk. Due to the fact that even though he got a rank and got ranked up in the Magic Knights, he was still beneath Asta. However, instead of answering, goes ahead and opens his grimoire, unleashing a large amount of mana to shoot out of him. Now, Asta, actually looking at this mana, was actually going ahead and not even that surprised about him, considering he can tell already that Yuno has gotten stronger. However, he's not gonna lie though. This impresses him. Even though he's not that strong, still, and he's gotten stronger. As seeing this large amount of mana, Yuno will go ahead and make a bird out of wind, shooting it towards Asta at blinding speed, shocking everyone. Noelle will be on the ground in fear, thinking that she's about to get hurt, while Charmy is, just looking at Yuno in awe, considering the fact that certain events that happened during the kingdom caused Charmy to have this weird, but I guess, weird crush on Yuno. However, Asta, not even batting an eye, will go ahead and just turn the other direction, as the ginormous wind bird would just be dispersed. You're too slow, Yuno. Your magic, yes, you have gone higher at it, but your attacks are way too predictable. And not gonna lie, I could always see everything that's coming. You need to go ahead and try to work up a new style. I'm not saying to give up what you're learning now, but I am saying that you need to start thinking outside of the box more often. However, I can say this, your magic has surely gone stronger. So, keep going at it. At this, Yuno can do nothing but just sigh, and gives Asta a challenging smirk. Doesn't matter, I'll get stronger than you one day, and then I'll become the Wizard King, said Yuno with a full-blown happy smile. At this, Asta goes ahead and just looks at him, blinks a couple of times until he goes ahead and gives him a challenging smirk of his own. We'll see about that. At that, everyone else begins to walk away, with Mosa saying goodbye to Noelle and Klaus waving goodbye at them. Asta not even, batting an eye at them. However, he will take a couple of glances at them and give them a smirk. This would cause Mimosa to blush, Noelle to give his own smirk, and Klaus to give him a good smile, and to show him that it was a faithful gesture. Saying goodbye as well. Now, due to this, the next upcoming days would go ahead and pass. Now, ever since that incident, also began to train even more hard, and he begins to go ahead and unlock more of his abilities. One of them being the thing that he's been waiting for, the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. It did take him a couple of 2 months to unlock it, considering the fact that he had to go ahead and continue training his body, putting himself under genjutsu to experience traumatic experience, and going through all his memories of how he unlocked it. However, he finally was able to unlock that part of his soul that allowed him to go ahead and use it. However, there was one more, and this one seemed to contain another one of his abilities, which was the Renegon. He was going after that next, the big old Renegon. He wanted this. As soon as he gets that, he will be at full power, and he would go ahead and regain all the original strength that he had, except for the one time that he had the 10 tails. Considering the fact that was not truly his power, it was more of like him taking the power of the 10 tails, but still. Now, he has also went ahead and gained some of his dear old friend Hashirama's wood style, as he's still still strong and everything, but how he was able to go ahead and do some of it during the Great Ninja War, yeah. As well as he also learned other more jutsus from memory, of course. Now, after this, the Wizard King himself would, most of the time would have been actually, giving the Black Bulls some star, considering the fact that Asta actually just takes on, the other ranked missions, trying to get the Black Bulls back on track, because to be inferior to others just not was something that Asta vibed with. As the days would continue going on, however, Asta would also begin to learn how to use his and Libe's anti-magic. Although it was great, it was, very interesting for Asta. He began to go ahead and try tampering with it, and he has learned a lot, alright? Now, I also want to, just say some things. For the people who are saying, like, bro, you're making Asta, way too powerful and everything, okay. It's my story, okay? Jeez. But still, yeah, thanks for watching, though. So, still, whatever. Now, Asta would have been tampering with his anti-magic, and this is where Libe actually brought up before, and that Asta actually was quite interested in. It was a form known as, dark mode, or black mode. It wasn't really known. Asta really didn't know the name for it, but still, it interested him. And it was practically to the point where he just flows anti-magic into his entire body. And at this, Asta was actually, interested in this, so he goes ahead and tries it. And at that, Asta goes ahead and begins pumping a bunch of anti-magic into his body like it was nothing, which Asta has already been, has already known how to flow energy through him. I mean, shoot, it's not the first time. So, as Asta goes ahead and flows the anti-magic into him, he takes up a large amount, which is not surprising to him. This would cause him to earn the half, black mode, allowing him to go ahead and, fly. Asta at first with his flying was at first having a bit of a difficult time, considering the fact that he's not used to stuff like this. However, eventually he'll begin to gain the hang of it, and eventually able to fly as if it was second nature to him. So yeah. And the black mode was able to last for a very long periods of time, so he was able to last on it for about 30 to 40 minutes, which is a long time. Still, cool. Now we currently see Asta. He was currently training Noelle, who was getting better at her magic, even learning the Valkyrie armor. While also other clones of him will be training Magma, Luck, and basically those two are the members of the Black Bulls. After their experience with Asta, they decide to take their training seriously, and this causes them to begin to get a huge power up. Magma learning more dangerous trap spells, trap spells, which is like he's still nowhere near Asta's level, but still, like, if you get caught in those, like, those do damage, and some of them can be permanent burns on your body, like to the point of you becoming either a cripple or just dead in general. So yeah, Magma has become a force to be reckoned with. Now, as for luck, he has gotten the same full lightning cloak like he had in the one that he had in the Elf Arc. So yeah. And for Noelle, she's currently learning how to do different forms of her Valkyrie armor. She has learned how to make it. However, she's not able to last for a very long period of time. And Asta tells her to mostly focus on trying to gain it for a large period of time. Considering the fact if she can't wield it like that, then shoot, what is she trying? Like, shoot, if she goes ahead and tries to make another form with it, was she gonna be able to hold it for like what, 1 second? Hell no. And this sort of causes a little bit of a dynamic to change in the Black Bulls, with at least 3 of their members becoming more serious, and the other ones becoming laid back. However, Yami has noticed this, and he can't help but appreciate the kid. And he also begins to wonder, could he win against Asta? Now, we can now currently see the Black Bulls, who are currently now just, enjoying their time. Asta was just chilling and beginning to go through memories, trying to find some, more jutsus to learn, while also activating his, Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan underneath his eyelids. Hey, alright guys, get ready, time for payday, said Yami, coming out of the bathroom, which all the Black Bulls begin to cheer about it. Noelle was actually surprised. Wait, we actually get paid? She said, which all of them look at her like as if she's stupid, which causes her to have a blush of embarrassment. Doi, we get paid, said Magma. Considering, he has learned a new spell today, and he was so excited. And now he's getting paid. Today was either Christmas or the best day of his life. But right now he was enjoying himself. Luck couldn't help but get excited, considering the fact that he could go ahead and just, probably buy some new equipment and stuff like that, and go ahead and, try to pay people to fight him or something. He didn't really know. All he knew was that he was going to go ahead and waste money today. Noelle didn't really have to worry about finances, even though she was what the Sylvias called it, a royal failure. She still had her own amount of money. So yeah, Asta, however, had no need for stuff like that. Although having some new weapons and getting some stuff wouldn't be bad, but he would still send most of it to Hodge Village. So with that, Yami began to pay everyone the money, and this would cause Asta to go ahead and give some of that money to the people of his village. Not really giving a damn about it, because Asta is just the GOAT. And with the rest of it, he decides that he's gonna go ahead and go spend it on other stuff. He's gonna go ahead and spend it on a custom design. Also will go ahead and just pull out his Goombay sword, throwing it on the ground, causing it to levitate, and he goes ahead and rides on it, going to a far direction. However, Goach was having a bunch of weird pervy thoughts about his sister. Yeah, Goach is weird. Now we can do a time skip. Asta was currently at some sort of bar, currently now placing in an order. Ah, this is my favorite customer, said the blacksmith, who was now currently looking at Asta. Asta would just give him a blank stare, which causes him to go ahead and grit his teeth. You don't have to go ahead and be like that, said the man, which Asta just goes ahead and chuckles. Yeah. Well, I came back here with a new custom order. At this, the man actually looks at Asta, actually a bit excited. Asta met this guy during his journeys when he was out of the orphanage. He went ahead and just traveled around the world like he did, and he sort of met this man who, at first he was just like the others, thinking that Asta was just a pest, and then was about to go away. However, he actually stopped in his tracks from doing that, thinking that Asta, what has the kid ever done to him, and actually was logical about it. So with that, Asta and him sort of develop a bond, like a friendship, and due to that, Asta would consider him one of his most faithful allies. Well, I came back here with a new custom order, said Asta, which this makes the man intrigued. He's not gonna lie, he loves making weapons. And when it comes to Asta had like weird ideas of weapons. Oh, please tell me you have the money for it, he said, as he had a bit of gleam in his eyes. At this, Asta goes ahead and pulls out a large amount of cash, and like a large amount of coins and everything, making him go ahead and whoop in excitement. Now that he's gonna go ahead and craft some more weapons. Look, I'm gonna give you the whole design of it. Asta would then pull out from his pouch from behind him as he goes ahead and pulls out some scrolls. At this, the man will look at the scrolls and he'll begin to see the designs of these things, and this causes his eye to glint at it. So these things that you want me to make are called kunai, and the other things you want me to make are called shuriken. Huh, they look weird, but at the same time, they look deadly sharp. Tell me, how do you use them? Said the man, completely in interest. At this, Asta begins to think about it until he begins to explain how they usually work, and at this, the man just eyes brighten up at this. Whoa, this is actually very useful. Even if you don't know magic, even if you don't know magic, this could be very useful if you go ahead and try to defend yourself. Hey, you wouldn't mind if I actually tried, making more of these and sell it. And this also actually brightens up at this, considering the fact that means he doesn't always have to come here for custom orders, and this actually makes things much more easier for him. Yeah, I like that. So at this, the blacksmith will go ahead, take Asta's money and the blueprints for this new custom weapon, which he's really excited to make, and go ahead and leave to do his business, which Asta enjoys. Now for Asta, he's gonna go ahead and go check out the place that he was invited to. Now, flashback. Now, during the time where Asta was training, he was actually, during the time when Asta was going around, just training in his anti-magic, he was invited by Finro to go to a mixer. Asta knew of these things, and he's not gonna lie, he wasn't the type of person to enjoy these things. However, it's either completely training all day or do something else. So with that, he goes ahead and goes with Finro. Now, they all go over there, and at first, Asta didn't really do anything, as well as Luck, who just goes around telling them blood-curdling stories about how he beats up his enemies, while Finro tries to get their attention. All the ladies didn't really care about them. The only one that we were actually even paying attention to was actually Asta himself. And not because he was good-looking or anything. Well, they cannot lie. He was good-looking. It's just the fact that he had this mystery around him. Like, he looked so ominous. And that sort of brought them to, draw their attention to him. However, in the end of the day, they all began to hit it off, while Asta and another girl named Rebecca stayed there. However, this was all interrupted by a drunken old man who began to say began to insult Rebecca, calling her a mother of children, and also beginning to, saying that if she needs a man that bad, he can be that man for her. He was going to go ahead and try to harass her, however, Asta came in at the very right time, saying one thing: scum like you shouldn't have a right to even touch a woman. At this, Asta would just flip him over, not even caring about the damage he had caused, as he goes ahead and tells Rebecca that he can relate to siblings and all, and that he could relate to some of the stuff that she was saying. At this, Rebecca actually looks at Asta with a new light, and just as soon as Asta was about to leave, she actually invites him to her place, and invites him to come over one day. At this, Asta actually at first wanted to decline, saying that he didn't have time for it. However, the Asta side of him, sort of convinced him on that, so he agreed on it. Besides, even though he's mostly all the time serious and everything, and always loves for battle and everything, he still has a heart, alright? He's not a heartless, coldless person, alright? Especially with Asta's personality in there, yeah. So we continue on. We now see Ghosh, who currently has multiple bags filled with presents and everything, ready to give them to his loving, dear little sister. Marie, said Ghosh, who's now currently skipping like a little girl, ready to playing hopscotch or something. As he was skipping, he would then hear the voice of his so-called angel. Wee, this is fun, said the young voice of his sister. At this, Ghost would then turn a corner, only to be completely frozen. He would then see Asta, who currently had a smile on his face. Not a full-blown one like he had, but still, he had a good and kind smile, on his face. He was currently twirling around at not that fast speed, but still a pretty fast pace, spinning Ghosh's sister, Marie, around. However, at this, Ghosh would then be mad, sending a beam at Asta using his mirror magic. However, Asta was just deflected like it was nothing in a blink of an eye. "What?" said Ghosh. At this, Asta would stop spinning and then go ahead and put Marie down. "Would you hold on for a second?" said Asta, to which Marie honestly nods. Asta would then turn to Ghosh with a dead serious expression. "Attack me again and I'll kill you. I don't care if we're in front of children right now. You go ahead and act like a fool, and I'll make sure you regret it for the rest of your life. Or I would say the 1 second left of it." At this, Ghosh would begin to sweat as the pressure begins to get sent towards him, as this was the bloodlust of Asta. He was dead serious on that, and that he will make sure that Ghosh pays if he tries it again. At this, Ghosh begins to shake as he goes ahead and begins to speak. "But that's what you get for trying to attack, be with my Marie," said Ghosh, completely scared of Asta. "Oh, so I knew it. You were a cis-con. Should have known it from the beginning. But to be fair, I don't really care. I'm not gonna go ahead and start acting like a perv like you. But I'm gonna say this one more time. Attack me again, or attack me again when I'm with these children or anything. You will suffer the consequences." At this, Ghosh can do nothing but just get silent until he begins to prepare to throw a punch at Asta. However, Asta goes ahead, catches it, and punches Ghosh in the gut, making him get knocked unconscious. "Sorry about that. Now then, how about we go ahead and go eat?" At this, all the kids begin to be happy until Marie gets taken away by the old lady, who goes ahead and tells her that she has a bedtime. So at this, all of them will be going off. However, unaware to most of them, except for Asta, who already knew this, Noelle was following. What is that she-vixen trying to do to Asta? Asta is never, ever gonna be with her. Over my dead body! I mean, as a teammate. Oh, screw it. Over my dead body, she said. Noelle, who was currently spying on Asta, as she went ahead, and over the months, she has now begun to realize her feelings for him, and she has to admit that, she did like Asta. And not just friendship, more than that. However, it's still pretty hard for her to, really accept it. And she's not gonna let anyone get to him. Not Mimosa, and especially not this Rebecca girl, how Noelle likes to put it. Asta, however, was actually getting impressed. She gets even fiercer by the day. Sort of reminds me of Mito. At this, you will remember Hashirama's wife, Mito Uzumaki, who actually has to say was actually a very beautiful woman, also with a temper that anyone who went near her man would suffer the consequences. At this, he actually begins to sweat a little bit, remembering one of the times where he and Hashirama, even though they were still not on the best of terms, they were still, sort of friends, I guess. As he goes ahead and remembers when Mikoto beat up the woman to the inch of her life. It actually took Tobirama and Hashirama to literally hold her down before she did anything more. At that, he only shuddered at the thought, thinking that, if anything, like that's still like, damn, that's brutal. As they continue on walking, they will all be inside, eating a bunch of food, where the kids will go ahead teasing Rebecca, saying if she's gonna marry Asta, which she goes ahead and blushes at the thought. However, Noelle, who was hearing this, was enraged, as if I'll let her marry my Asta. Oh man, I really need to one day get control of this. Noelle was still new to this feeling. However, to the point where she was already declaring that Asta was hers, that was a little bit too far, even for her. But still, one day, she was gonna make sure that happens. So yeah. Now, as the night began to roll around, Snow began to fall. Snow began to fall from the sky, as it was really typical. However, Noelle, who was right now watching, stalking Rebecca's house, was getting cold. Man, it's so cold, she says, shaking due to the fact that she was currently wearing a skirt, which on her side was not the best idea. However, Noelle would then be stopped until she sensed a presence from behind her. Turning around, she would actually be surprised only to see a blanket and a note. At this, she goes ahead, picks up the blanket, which also had a coat in it. She read the note. Next time, if you're going to be following me around, try to hide your presence really good. Like, you need to do better at hiding your presence. Another thing, listen, I don't know why you're following me, said the note, but I'm just going to say this. Next time, at least be prepared. Next time, be prepared of any scenario, even if it's the cold. I got you these things just to keep you warm, said Asta. At this, Noelle at first began to blushing, like, he caught her during doing all this creepy stuff. However, she couldn't help but feel the warm feeling in her heart as she begins to blush. At seeing the blanket and the coat that he left there for her so that she wasn't cold. She goes ahead and wraps around it, and actually she begins to sniff as she didn't realize that this was actually one of Asta's coats. And she begins to imagine Asta, arms wrapping around her, which causes her to blush. And she begins to stutter, saying, No, calm down. I need to get control of this, she says. But she couldn't help it. She has never felt something like it. Now for Asta. He was currently now sleeping, not even bothering, enjoying his nap until his eyes widen as he senses an attack. Gauche, what did I warn you? At this, Gauche, who was already preparing to go ahead and shoot a beam at Asta, would then be in shock as he goes ahead and takes a couple of step backs until regaining his footing. This is what you get for messing with my marine, you scum. At this, he launches a beam at Asta, only for it to be instantly reflected and for him to get pinned to the wall. Shut up. I warned you, but you didn't listen. At this, Gauche began to have multiple visions of his death, flashing over his mind over and over again as the bloodlust of Asta begins to crush him. As he begins to think, he's gonna kill me. I can't. No, Marie. But no, it's his fault. Dang it. He was scared to die. However, he still couldn't move. However, all of this would then be stopped by Asta, who senses something. Shit, he says. Asta would then throw Gauche onto the bed. He goes ahead and opens the window and jumps out. At this, Gauche, who was currently, trying to regain his breath, would go ahead and follow him not shortly after. At this, everyone would begin to look. Asta would then see a group of people exiting out of the house, beginning to scream for their children's name. Something happened, said Asta. As he could sense, multiple signatures have vanished and have seemed to have, left the area. And at this thought, we see Rebecca, who is currently now running outside in a sweat, as she goes ahead and tells Asta that her siblings were missing. And at this, Asta couldn't help but get a tick mark. This was just stupid. He wouldn't even have to deal with this bullcrap if Gauche wasn't in his way. Ah, damn it. So at this, Gauche would begin to panic, however, as he then begins to look at the old hag, who's finally gotten out, as she begins to tell that the kid from the orphanage was gone as well. Gauche would go ahead and grab the lady by her neck, which causes Rebecca and others who were watching this to be in shock, considering the fact that Gauche was a magic knight. Old hag, where's Marie? I swear, if you have let her go, I will kill you, said Gauche. However, he would then be stopped as a punch into the face, sending him flying, crashing into a rock. Don't hurt the elderly again. What the hell is wrong with you? Your sister fetish or whatever is getting in the way of this is getting in the way of your issue, then you should quit being a magic knight. We don't attack civilians, we protect them, no matter what the situation is. I respect you for your power, but that's all the respect you're ever gonna get from me. Cause someone like you doesn't deserve any respect. At this, Gauche, who was currently now laying on there, still completely, hurt by the punch, as it, damn, that hurt hard. But still, Can you blame him? His Marie was gone. At this, Asta will go ahead and tell them that he will get their children back as he goes ahead and spread his chakra through the area. At this, everyone would sense this weird pressure going around. However, it was not strong enough like it was to the point where it just crushed them. No, it was just an area that seemed to just wave around them. However, Asta will begin to pick up multiple signatures that were heading throughout the direction of a cave. At this, Asta will go ahead and sigh. I could sense them. We can already get over there in time. Alright, hurry up. At this, Asta will go ahead and begin to go ahead and tells them to go ahead and put a hand on his shoulder, to which they agree to. At this, Asta would just go ahead and begin to charge chakra, beginning to body flicker to their direction, leaving a now alone Rebecca there, hoping for her siblings to return. Noelle, who finally got out of the corner, now still covered in, now wearing Asta's coat and wearing a blanket as well, will go ahead and see everyone and try to calm them down. With Asta, Asta would now currently be in front of a cave where he goes ahead and can sense already multiple signatures around. However, he goes ahead and turns to a kid that was laying there as if he remembers that this was one of Rebecca's siblings. He's hurt, said Asta. At this, he goes ahead and walks over to it as the old lady who was there would go ahead and walk with him. Ghost Shower didn't care, already going ahead and rushing inside the cave to get his Marie. Selfish, said the old nun. However, Asta was just having a different thought. He goes ahead and leaves an injured alone just for the one life. Oh, hell no, I'm not letting this stand. This just pissed off Asta, alright? He was able to deal with Goshala, alright? Attacking him, death threats already. But now this was just a different level, alright? If he pulls off one of these bad mistakes again, Asta does not care, alright? He's already made too many strikes now. So Asta will go ahead and use his anti-magic sword, and even began to use some of medical jutsu, which he learned from some of his memories. Although it was not 100% perfect, it was enough to go ahead and heal those scrapes and wounds that he had. As for the old nun, she was actually able to use some of her healing magic to go ahead and heal some of the frostbite that he actually had, which Asta, was thankful for. Alright, listen. Now listen, I want you to go ahead and stay here. At this, the kid was about to go ahead and complain and cry. However, Asta went ahead and just did one hand sign, making a clone of himself, shocking the old nun as well as the kid himself. Don't worry, I'll leave this clone here with you. And after that, as soon as I go ahead and get everyone else, he's going to return you all back home. At this, the kid will then look at the clone, which will go ahead and turn to him with a good smile, making the kid relax as he just nods in agreement. Alright, I'll leave things up to you. Alright, come on. Alright, would you come with me, ma'am? Said Asta in a very respectful tone, which she actually enjoys it. Not at all. Asta would go ahead and summon his Goombai sword, placing it on the ground as he goes ahead and allows the lady to go ahead and ride the Goombai sword with him, as both of them speed off at very blinding speed to the direction. Please be okay, said one of the youngest of Rebecca's siblings, looking at the area that Asta just went to. Now, this is where I'm going to leave it off. Yes, a cliffhanger. Well, what will happen, guys? Will Asta be able to save everyone? What will happen to Ghosh, especially since, he's been sort of a prick? And what exactly is going on, bruh? But either way, hope you guys do enjoy this what if. And yeah, I am out. Peace. Also, yeah, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button. So yeah, bye.